with your slides?
First, I think an icebreaker would be better.
Oh, you want an icebreaker? Okay, how long are you going to
Yes.
spend on an icebreaker?
I mean, I think, less than 5 minutes is a good idea.
Okay, okay.
Hi, teams.
Hello, hello. WikiLeaks, icebreaker. Give people a few minutes to get in here. And Jeff, I've got you in at the end of the presentation, so you've got a little time to mentally prepare yourself. Oh, and he left after I said that. Okay.
All right,
Very
so
cool.
icebreaker for today. What was the best FRC game piece you've ever had? I'm incredibly biased because my answer is the
I know what
inner
your
tubes
answer
from
is.
2007. So.
That was my first year.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the basketballs in 2012 only because they fell apart so much, and so we purposely one late evening took one that was like in half and stuffed it with all the pieces of all the other ones, and then put it to the shooter, and it was like confetti. It came out. That was real fun.
Understood. That was pretty good.
Nick seriously says totes. I'm sure 100% his legit feelings.
These are, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The first year in Indiana being, the totes. It was
What was
fantastic.
that, the first year for districts?
Yep. So that was why for years all of our stuff was packed away over there. So I feel like the fuel was pretty good too. Underutilized, intentionally underutilized.
Has anyone looked to see how much Andy Mark still has? How much can you order from them now?
It's a great question.
It's still
and Andy told me at Twist he's down to less than a cargo container.
Oh, ooh.
Okay. Hatches was a good year for sure. Jeff, you've got lots of years of game pieces to pull from. What's your favorite game piece? Oh wait, I know, it's rope.
That wasn't a game piece.
Okay, that's true.
It's actually a toss up between the Nerf basketballs from 06 and 012 or in 12. For those of you that are new, 06 was the first year they let us actually eject the game piece from the robot. So that was
big year.
That was, yeah, which created its own set of, I was glad I wasn't inspecting that year when they had specific requirements on exit velocity. That was fun. And it's between that and I really, they were a challenge to not destroy, but I really liked the pool inner tubes from Rack and Roll and Logomotion. Because there was,
yep.
Those were a real challenge to handle.
Yeah, I keep waiting for them to come back since they happen so close to each other. Figured it was going to be a pattern.
I'm still waiting for Nerf footballs.
No, thank you.
There's a big bin of them in the game design lab out in Manchester.
hopefully that means they've ruled them out every single year.
That's what I'm hoping. My least favorite game piece would not be rope, Greg. It would be mini bots.
Oh yeah,
That's
that makes
true.
sense. All right. Well, it's been 5 minutes. So I'm going to reshare the screen. Doot, 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 doot. As a side note, Greg, if there's different volunteer needs for FRC, that might be good to update because
Oh, sure.
we were doing
I
a good job
updated
at
last
hitting.
time. I'll go through that, but we can refresh later.
Okay. Haha, it
All
loaded.
right. There we go. You got it. So cool. Welcome to February 19th mentor call that I totally didn't forget about until Laura reminded me like at 10 a.m. this morning. So we're doing great here. Hopefully everybody is gearing up for their competitions because those start next week for a lot of you. We all had a lot of fun. Our week zeros last weekend. So hopefully we all learned a lot. I got to see a few of you before immediately going home sick. So I didn't ghost any of you. I just died. So we're good there. All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about the timeline for intent to bid and going through the RFP process a little bit. We've got some more details about the unofficial Wisconsin state champs this June. Another recap on getting involved, some volunteer updates, and then a little bit of a Q&A with Jeff Paul, lead robot inspector for Phantom. And are you doing Wisco or Seven Rivers? I don't remember which, Jeff.
I'm doing Phantom in Wisconsin. David Ellers is doing Seven Rivers.
Gotcha. Okay. So if you've got questions, gear them up so we can touch on them. So yeah, let's, So a small recap from last meeting. Wisconsin is moving to districts in 2026. There are links to the 2 blog posts there. I'll rehash this again. I do every presentation now. We are presenting slides. If you can't see them, quit and rejoin. This seems to be the best way to recover. And these slides, you should, unless you're on mobile, if you're on desktop, you should be able to click on the links. So there's 2 links there. And since I'm not presenting today, I can confirm that I can click on these links. One is the official blog post from FIRST. One is the official blog post from FIRST Wisconsin with a little bit more detail. If you haven't taken a look at those, I encourage you to do that to get a kind of sense of where we're going. Today, so no changes for this season. Recap here. 2025 season is moving forward as usual. 2026, we are planning to have 4 district qualifier events spread throughout the state. There will be a bid process, and we'll talk about this. If we get a big surge of teams, then that number may go up. We're close to that border. But for now, we're planning on 4, and then a district state championship with no location finalized yet. Those will all happen during the weeks 1 through 6. I think next year still. Correct, Renee? I think things get pushed out.
We could go to 7.
Is next year the year where champs gets pushed out a week?
Yeah.
Okay. So weeks 1 through 7, and then of course regular world championships that you qualify from your state championship. So we're going to talk a little bit about the intent to bid. I'll give some details, but Renee, if you really want to jump in on specific areas, you can go for it. But in the blog post that we linked before, which if you're on desktop, you can click the little arrows and you can move the slides back and forth and it won't affect the presenter. I'm doing it right now. And if it's not moving for you, then we're all cool. So click back there and go to the First Wisconsin blog. There is a link to a intent to bid, I believe, inside of a PDF there, where your team, and working with either your district or your community, or maybe you have a world-class facility that can host an event too, that would be great. Either way, if you are interested in hosting one of our 4 district events, you can put in an intent to bid. Thank you, Renee. There we go. An intent to bid for running one of those events. We are looking for 3 to 4 host sites in each of those 4 circles that we have in the map there. So Southeast Wisconsin, Northeast Wisconsin, La Crosse area, and then north, we'll call it Eau Claire area, not necessarily Northwest Wisconsin. That's really far north, and we don't have a lot of team presence up there. And we don't have any team presence up there once you get basically north of Eau Claire. So if we are looking for locations in each of those 4 giant circles. The deadline for filling out that intent to bid form is April 8th. After we fill that out, or after you fill it out, we will begin the request for proposal process. Before then, we basically do them as bids come in, asking for more information, maybe site visits, et cetera, et cetera. And that'll be run by the competition committee that we are still happy to have people join and be a part of. And Renee will talk a little bit more about that towards the end for sure.
Mm-hmm. In terms of like
but
contingency planning, you know, like we stated, our goal is to really have a few different options or host sites in each of those areas, and then it's a matter of puzzle piecing in the schedule that is the least painful for teams, right? It would be awesome if we could, you know, have 8 weeks worth of events and go every other week with a competition, but that's not how it works. So being able to find different sites that have different dates that are available and then puzzle piecing in the best option for the community that season is what you get to do. And so the competition committee, in the event that we don't end up with those 12 to 16 you know, intent to bids, then the competition committee will be seeking out those additional options by May 15th so that the competition committee can start going through the RFP process and finalizing the events, the venues. So we're ready to announce it publicly by the end of August to the teams. In terms of the request for proposal, I already shared in the document the information about the intent to bid. The request for proposal essentially goes into more details. So this is where things like venue maps, electrical information, you know, how to engage the community. This isn't something that, you know, a single team, unless it's a very large team, would take on. Like typically having multiple members of the community working together is a more sustainable way to manage the event. Committee, like who's on your committee, who's helping to support the planning process, what's the budget for the event, are there rooms or hotel rooms nearby, and you know, parking details, and how do you load in and out safely and effectively. And so the deadline for sharing that will be rolling. So if people have already submitted an intent to bid, I currently have 2 already. So that was pretty cool to see people getting those in right away to indicate their interest. But we'll be starting to share out the more detailed information on February 21st. And then April 10th is 2 days after that intent to bid is available. And we did that because we wanted to make sure everyone had a chance to go through all of the competitions before we said the deadline closed for the intent to bid for this year. Okay. All right, Greg.
awesome.
I'm going to send it back to you.
There you go. Okay. So then, yeah, unofficial first Wisconsin State Championship, basically trying to emulate that district championship that we will see in 2026 this June. So out at Sheboygan North High School, Saturday, June 14th. Was there more information? Did you remove some info from this slide, Renee? Oh, there's 2 slides. That's why.
There's 2 slides. It was very crowded.
Okay. That's why I was like, there was stuff here before. So we're aiming for 32 teams, very close to what if there were an official state championship this year, very close to what it would be size-wise. With this schedule that gets about 5 matches per team, that is obviously not what a real district state championship would have, but for a single day event, that's what we can schedule in. So Saturday, June 14th. Next slide. There we go. So these 32 teams will be determined by the official regional advancement points model. So a reminder that even though we are in the regional system this year, champs advancement did change for all regionals this year. And so there is generally a universal points model now. And so we will base the 32 teams off that we invite off of that ranking. We're aiming for about $400 or less per team. Once we know more, we'll give you a finalized number later. And then we're exploring options to have trophies, pens, etc., that are comparable to what you get from other WIAA state championship events. For reference, it's like a giant wooden Wisconsin on top of a plaque. So we are exploring,
or better, or bigger.
We are exploring things like that or better. Renee wants to put a whole thing. But look forward for that. Look forward for that. Add it to your calendar to make sure your teams are planning on it. Just in case you get that invite, June 14th with load in on the 13th.
Okay.
Cow print banner.
See?
Yep, that's all you get.
Okay. So I just would like to make a note that I was going for like the fun side of things, and then I was reminded that it may be helpful for our teams to have more of an official sports-like formal trophies.
I think I'm all for the RoboFest cheese.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be great.
We are not sports. We are better. We can be different.
I think I like both. I like the one shiny trophy where your athletic director will be like, why is that bigger than our basketball state championship trophy? In addition to, a squishmallow cow with safety glasses making an appearance.
I'm with Renee.
There we go.
Yeah, I want a pretty trophy for the trophy case at the school, but I think a cool banner would be pretty awesome in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
There are certainly
leather,
ideas.
A faux leather cowhide banner.
Okay. Anyway. So, so one of the things I've heard over the past couple of weeks is people don't know how to get involved, and who's going to be doing this process, who's going to be part of the competition committee to review these things. And the answer is, if you would like to be involved, you can be involved. This is the official call to action of if you are unhappy about something, or you would like to control your own destiny, or you would like to encourage other people to help you control your own destiny. This is how you can get started with that. So again, as we grow this nonprofit and this organization and increase access for students in this program and retain students in the program and mentors, all of these different areas are areas that we could use support and are looking for volunteers. And it does not need to be someone who is currently doing the incredibly important and essential work of mentoring or lead mentoring a robotics team. It could absolutely be someone who, maybe they aren't able to lead mentor a robotics team right now, and they still want to be involved with FIRST. So this is a great opportunity for them to engage and keep them involved. Good for, new young professionals who are FIRST alumni, excellent for, those later in their career with younger children to engage in. So this is really an opportunity to get involved with FIRST in a way that you really haven't before. So with that in mind, we have these 6 areas that I've mentioned before. Hopefully they're familiar. As you can see from the advocacy area, we just had our advocacy event. We had a record number of meetings that were hosted. It's always really interesting to get calls from the governor's office, so we'll see how that goes. But the advocacy committee has been functioning and has been successful for the past few years in terms of increasing awareness of the FRC program in the state and the importance of it for workforce development. The competition committee will do a lot of the work that we just talked about in terms of identifying event standards, managing the bid process, supporting operational staff members with like logistics, and then really ensuring event quality. So reviewing the surveys that are provided by teams for the events and things like that. The engagement committee, that's the team and mentor support with local networking options. We're working on ways to increase communication and strengthen the community. If your team, is having a hard time, managing, like, you have a ton of students on your team and you are looking for ways to better engage them or delegate different, systems and processes. Talking with the engagement committee members is a great way to learn from your peers. The impact area is focused on, if events are the best place to see this program and understand the impact of it, then how do we increase the number of people from the general public, teachers, principals, career professionals, etc., who are coming to events and seeing this program in action so they can really get it? How do we support the program growth in different areas? And then how do we tie all of that to workforce partnerships and building out the community in those areas as well? Marketing and communications, short, Marcoms. That's those social media, PR and marketing, and website elements. I'm sure, people would love to have a additionally updated website. First Wisconsin has put off hiring additional staff so that we can be intentional in our hiring. And we basically needed to know which model of play we were moving forward with before we could have additional staff to provide that support. And so if you would like to make it so that, the very last thing on my list at the end of day Friday isn't updating the website, I would appreciate that. Would be great. And then volunteer management, recruitment, retention, recognition. Just frankly, a big shout out to Sam Belladue and our volunteer coordinators from across the state, because they have crushed it in terms of the volunteer recruitment pipeline, growth, engagement, etc. Looking over last year's information, we increased the number of alumni engaged with our volunteer positions by 5 percentage points, which was pretty cool. And so, it's been nice to see all of the various volunteer roles starting to get filled across the board. So that's been really, really fantastic to see. But volunteer committee, high level engagement, also ways to engage corporate professionals with volunteering in the program. And then making sure that you guys are being recognized. FRC has some mentor awards, we have some volunteer awards, but we can do more of that because your time and the support you give to this program is valuable, and that should be recognized. And I appreciate that. But me just telling you I appreciate you, I don't know. I'm going to stop there because I was about to say it should mean a lot, but it might not. It's fine. All right, Greg, I'm digging a hole. Keep going.
That's fine.
This is a description of the competition committee, which we've had for a little bit.
We can keep going. I can talk while you find the appropriate slide. I can talk about volunteer opportunities.
Yay. Okay, good.
Cool. So volunteer needs for FTC. I assume this is still accurate, Renee. I didn't update this one.
No, it is accurate. I added it.
All right.
It was missing in a previous one.
Perfect. So FTC state championship, I believe that's at MSOE this year.
Correct.
In, what is that, like 3 weeks? 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
It's week 2. No, I have this weekend and then next weekend and then one more. So it's 3 weekends.
3 weeks. Looking for some individuals for queuing, inspecting, judging, and photography. I know that there are a lot of interested individuals at the FRC level for judging that haven't been able to judge because their team is competing. Getting a start at the FTC level is great. And also, if you were kind of intimidated by FRC judging or inspecting, doing it at the FTC level is a great intro. Because obviously, you don't have inspectors at the FLL level judging. You can do it at FLL. You should do it in FTC as well. What did I say that was so
I
funny?
deeply feel, I'm sorry, I feel like when you say like, judging in FTC isn't intimidating, I would actually say that FRC judging is less intimidating than FTC judging, but I also don't want to scare people away. Robot inspecting is less intimidating than FRC robot inspecting. That's fine.
They're tiny robots. It's fine. Go inspect, go judge. But please sign up. That's 3 weeks away. Get in there, get some of that experience. If there's not space at your, okay. This next slide probably is out of date. Let's see.
I was gonna, okay.
Yeah, just go ahead and stop and restart and see what happens.
Okay, all right.
So for the FRC stuff, I went in, updated it just now. I added some more things that were less key volunteering because we are doing great on key volunteers at all of our events. So there are a few more opportunities out there that we can talk about. But while Renee is doing that, at Seven Rivers, really they just need another official scorer. So official scoring is the people that are counting the coral and algae as they get scored. Because this is a manual scoring, there's no automatic scoring this year. And the referees are looking for fouls. They can't look for fouls and keep track of the 60 different scoring locations for coral on each side of the field. So official score, there's room for at least one more there at Seven Rivers. And there are, I'm less familiar with the exact needs of Seven Rivers roles for like safety glasses or whatever. Safety glasses, quiet room, welcome table, etc. Those kind of things. So if you are interested in volunteering at Seven Rivers, please sign up as Assign Me As Needed, and they will get you put somewhere if they have a spot. At Phantom Lakes, obviously a little bit bigger bullet point here, but I did add in a bunch of non-key volunteer roles to this one that I'm seeing that we have needs for. So starting with the key volunteer ones, we are in need of judges. We do ask that you don't judge at an event that your team is competing at. We are getting more lenient there, but we still don't want strong affiliations if we can avoid them. So if you are interested in judging, do apply, and we will do a case-by-case basis. But we are keeping it to try to keep it as unbiased as we can there. But we are in need of judges, and it's getting closer to the event here. Robot inspectors, we have room for a few more robot inspectors, especially just on Thursday, just on the very first day of the event. You are welcome to inspect the whole weekend, but we have plenty doing the whole weekend. So if you could do Thursday, we could just use 3 or 4 more inspectors there. So talk to your mentors about spending just that afternoon on Thursday helping inspect. We have room for
no experience required. Training will be provided. If you have any questions, reach out to me.
If you have questions, you can ask Jeff in like 10 minutes. Right here, right now.
But we need those 3 or 4 more robot inspectors, or it's going to be a rough Thursday.
Yep. Robot inspectors have a substantial effect on the team's experience that first day. And so we want to recruit as many as we can to get everybody through inspection, because we all know that the teams aren't at the event to get inspected. So we need to get them inspected. Regardless, official scorers, we have a few slots left for them as well at Phantom. Some other slots that we haven't talked about before, field assembly, could use some folks coming out to help set up the field. This field this year is not that intimidating, as you all have probably seen, especially not compared to last year's giant. I've already forget the name of the, I want to call it the barge because I'm now full into Reefscape. But we need a few help there. Load in and load out. Again, it's not going to be that crazy. It's not going to be anything like Panther going down the giant ramp, but we still need some individuals to help crowd control trailers as they come in and out just that Thursday. And then safety glasses, quiet room, crowd control. These are usually rotating roles where we will put you in for like an hour-long shift at each one, so you're not sitting in the same spot all day unless that's what you really want to do. If you really want to sit and read a book in the quiet room and just be that adult presence, totally would appreciate it. That'd be great. But we're trying to cycle people through so that we get more happy volunteers. So same thing with Wisco down there, safety glasses, quiet room, crowd control. So please sign up, convince your parents as well to sign up sometimes on Thursday at Fandom, Thursday at Seven Rivers, or Friday at Wisco, because Wisco's weird. That first day isn't going to be the most exciting for parents because teams are just kind of scrambling to get their robots done. And it's also usually the first day we have the hardest trouble getting volunteers because it's not a weekend, a weekday, or weekend day, not Saturday. So go into your FRC dashboard and sign up there. Register to volunteer. I don't have the updated QR codes. I really need to get those fancy new QR codes in here. That'd be great.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Really is a good idea. If
Okay.
only I could execute on it.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Oh, look at.
An out of place slide.
Oh, okay. Very helpful.
We can cycle right back. Okay.
That's
So at this point, we've got a little bit of time here for Jeff. If you've got some helpful tips to kick us off, otherwise, individuals, you can start asking questions in the Q&A. If you'd like to speak, just please use the raise hand feature so we don't talk over each other. But it's all yours, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can see the Q&A, so you guys may have to help me out there.
I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on it.
Helpful tips. Bumpers are going to be the wild, wild west this year. I'm not really sure myself right now what may or may not completely, be good. But as always, the biggest tips I can give you are don't wait to get in line and get inspected. Especially right now at Phantom Lakes, it's, unless we pick up some more inspectors, it's going to be less than pleasant. Trying to get everybody through in time. Please help us out by getting lined up sooner rather than waiting to the last minute. I can tell you right now, if you think you're going to sneak something by waiting till the last minute, you're just going to be really unhappy. Only other thing I can say is if you haven't weighed your robot yet, go weigh your robot, right, Greg?
Not us that weighs 130 pounds, not us at all.
So that's fine as long as the bumpers were on it. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of, massive changes from past years. If if we wanted to have some questions or now we can. Also, don't hesitate. There is a Ask a LRI channel on the Wisconsin Mentor Slack. David Ellers, who is the other lead inspector in the state, and myself are both in there. We'd be happy to give you as an official opinion as we can give, without having hands on the robot. If it's a question you don't want to ask publicly, you can send us a direct message on I'm on the State Mentor Slack. I'm on the Southeast Coalition Slack, or send me an email. It's jeff.pahl@gmail.com. I think that's pretty much been posted all over the place over the years. So, but don't hesitate to reach out. Yeah. Thank you, Greg. And, we will try to do everything we can to answer questions in advance.
Yeah. Does anybody
but-
have any questions
Yeah.
for Jeff? There's a link to the mentor Slack. Please get in there if you're not. Like Jeff said, inspection, besides the bumpers, like I'd be interested to hear what people are doing for bumpers this year since it's all over the place.
I was informed by, others on the LRI Slack that you do have to have some sort of backing, that I couldn't just tape the pool noodles to the side of my robot and put fabric around them.
I know that the Chippewa Falls team was doing some great. Oh, good. There's Tim. All right, Tim, tell us about the bumper testing.
Well, we had a lot of fun squishing foam in vices and hitting it with hammers, and we came up with a pretty good solution, we think. And for the benefit of the robot inspectors, we've made a mock bumper with various combinations of the foam we're using and some sad pool noodles from last year that we can say, here's what's inside here. So that's kind of fun. Best thing about using the flat foam is you can put the fabric on and iron them on after. It's great.
Well, be careful ironing them on afterwards, because I've seen more than one occasion where people have melted the foam.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Jeff, how are you? That leads a good question. How are you guys going to like inspect bumper material? Like Tim said, he's got like a cross section of his bumper. What are they telling
Well,
you guys you have to do?
Well, I've got a Sawzall.
Okay. Are you going to cut my bumpers in half?
So we are not going to disassemble bumpers.
Okay.
Plain and simple. If you got some weird material, it would be nice if you had a sample of it, but it's not like I can tell the difference between 2-pound density foam and 4-pound density foam. Basically, don't, well, no, not that this is a year people want to be heavy, but pay attention to the no hard parts more than an inch. That's a big one. If I'm squishing on the bumper and I feel something hard, my favorite over the years has been rebar inside a pool noodle. Don't do that. The other big one this year that people need to watch out for are the changes to the corners. That one, I'm afraid, is going to trap some people. So, in the past where they've allowed you to wrap the foam around a corner, you can't do that anymore. That we really want a square corner, whether it's, so if you're doing pool noodles, run, one set of foam all the way out. If you have multi-piece bumpers, and sorry, I didn't get a chance to like pull any pictures together or anything because, yeah, I'm blaming Greg. But you can't have a mitered corner in the corner where a lot of teams have in the past. Had two corners that came out, with a 45-degree point on them. You cannot do that this year. If you want to have two-piece bumpers where the seam is in the corner, one of the sets of foam must extend all the way out, and the other one can come in below it, but this one has to go all the way out to the edge. The other thing to watch is, because we've seen this before, you can't run the backer material all the way out to the edge. But if you're not sure about your bumper corners, send me a picture. But that's going to be a big one that I think is going to catch some people. And it's kind of hard to fix at the event. Yeah, like Justin says, don't hide the radio. We're supposed to be able to see the lights on the radio. Plus, they don't like being down, buried in a bunch of metal. Um, please don't bury your power distribution, whatever you're using, underneath a whole bunch of stuff. We're supposed to be able to see that and trace the wires to it. I know of at least one team already this year that decided that they were going to mount it on the bottom of the robot.
That's Al's team. It's his fault.
No, it's a team in Wisconsin.
It's also Al's team.
Yeah, I won't say who it is, but yeah, it's comparable.
I remember talking to someone who mentioned making sure that the batteries weren't like going to get hit by the I don't know,
Coral.
climbing coral. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh wait, that's a really good point.
Yeah, well, this isn't an inspection thing, but you do not want to drop coral into the middle of your robot on top of your Rio, maybe an exposed Navex, etc. These aren't as forgiving as the notes were last year. So we're not going to inspect for did you adequately protect your electronics, but I can imagine we're going to be helping a lot of teams figure out why things don't work after a coral fell in the middle. So put some guarding in there. As Renee said, batteries, protected from damage, but also importantly, as the rules say this year, it must stay in place in any orientation of the robot, which means if we turn your robot upside down and shake it, the battery needs to stay where it is. So one half worn out bungee cord over the top of it is not going to pass inspection. Strap them down good. I had one other thing I just thought of, and now it's completely skipped my mind.
I did have a couple of teams while you're thinking. I did have a couple of teams.
Yeah, Justin, taped batteries will not pass.
That's true. I had two groups who came to visit me at the Sussex event when I was available for, in-person questions or discussion. So shout out to BadgerBots and, Beast for touching base. So.
Okay, I just remember what the other thing I was going to mention. Pay attention to starting with inside the frame perimeter. There were a lot of robots at Sussex that were in gross violation of that, my teams included. And the other thing to watch is make sure you are actually paying attention to how far you can extend outside the frame perimeter. And remember that is measured from the inside of the bumpers, not the outside. That always seems to trip a couple of people up every year. Anybody got any questions?
Feel free to ask in the chat. Renee, there is a Q&A question that's probably more directed at you than Jeff.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, any other questions? Otherwise, like Jeff said, he is very active in the mentor Slack. I ping him in there all the time when I ask about where the line is between legal and illegal for what we're doing, because I toe it probably too much. And yeah, so feel free to bug him there. Otherwise, thank you, Jeff, for the last minute coming in and giving us a little presentation here. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Anything that may save a team a headache at the event is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay, Renee, did you want to touch on that Q&A?
Yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure Sean Schuff texted me a similar question. So if this is all part of the
that would
same
in fact
thing.
make sense. I am part of
Okay.
93. Sorry, I
Oh,
didn't
good.
realize that people put their number at the end of their name. This is my first mentor call.
No, you're all good. We are thrilled to have you.
Welcome.
I was going to. So since you're here, one of the things that we do have is we have a handout from like Advocacy Day, encouraging people to come and RSVP for our events. It's a little bit more focused on the like, here's all the skills the students are building, but it's a pretty good option. So let me share that one with you. And then we do also have like volunteer information. If there was something specific you were looking for and you wanted to describe it, we can add it to our marketing and communications list and make something from there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was kind of looking, I know it's kind of a catch-all, but if there was a way to kind of advertise the way that both adults and their kids could get involved in first, I know that's kind of a tall ask because obviously there is so much to it. Um, but I work in a space with a lot of like STEM-minded people, so getting them to volunteer as mentors or volunteers, whatever works best for them, alongside showing them that there is a place for their kids if they're interested in STEM or STEAM to get involved with first. Because I have had a couple of coworkers, I have some first stuff at my desk, and they'll, ask about it. And I've had one of them that got their kids involved with FLL. I have another one that I think is looking at FRC in the Madison area. So just trying to drum it up with my community.
Awesome. Real quick, adventures in Canva. So if I had something like this beautiful document, and instead of the workforce talent Wisconsin needs, we come up with something that's a little bit more appealing to parents and students. Would something like that work?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, because then the back of it, it's this QR code where you can scan that and RSVP to see an event in person. So
Yeah, and even if I don't know, and I know this may be a tall ask, even if we can condense it down to like one page, I'm trying to maybe if I can post it around my office um, in some places. So definitely the
cool.
QR code so people can scan it though.
All right. In advance, should I be making it black and white or can I keep it in color?
You can keep it in color.
Okay. All right. I think I can do that. Let me do some workarounds. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. We'll get that up on the blog, so that'll be available to anyone who would like to use it in both versions. So we'll do the half-page VIP invite, and then we'll do one for more family focused. Okay, there we go.
That'd be awesome. Thank you for putting it up on the blog because I'd like to
Mhm.
put up a few.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, if anyone else has like amazing flyers they've created, and anyone from Red Raider Robotics students, we can throw them up as examples or for people to do as well.
Do you mind, out of curiosity, do you mind at all if other people put together First Wisconsin posters and such? I wasn't sure if that would be frowned upon or not.
Hi, would you like to join our marketing and communications committee?
I will by no means pretend that I'm amazing at it, but it's something I thought about dabbling in a little bit.
I nope, I'm not upset if people would like to do that. What I should do is figure out a way to get the First Wisconsin logo up on the website. But it's not like we've been busy for the past year. So.
Only a couple big things going on.
Yep. As a reminder, if anyone is interested, we have our third and final year of the google.org grant coming up. We already have training scheduled for UW Stout on May 3rd and May the 4th be with you day. So May 3rd and 4th. And if you're looking at extending into the middle school or have a middle school teacher, you can encourage to start up a team. That could be a great opportunity. The professional development is run by Tim. Tim does great work from Sheboygan. I mean, Tim from Chippewa Falls also does great work, but there you go.
Is that information up on the state website somewhere, Renee?
Under special events, you can actually RSVP. But let me link to that page, and then I will, make a note that one of the things I do Friday evening after my daughter is asleep to write a blog about the Google grant. Oh, actually, at every one of our events, we will also have an educator event. We'll be talking about these exact things. And so you can take a look via the upcoming events. There's our FTC State Championship VIP event. And then for educators, administrators, or interested middle school contacts, we also have the exploring free first educational resources and program funding. And so that's where, there's a whole part of the first website that I think that people don't really know about. And it's introducing that to you, and then also making sure you're aware of the national grants that FIRST puts forward so that we can take money from outside of Wisconsin and bring it into Wisconsin and impact our children.
Awesome. Awesome. Totally going to forward that to our middle school teacher that's been helping out recently.
Do you mean Amanda, who signed up to FTC judge, like a champion? Andy?
Andy, I'm like, not Amanda, Andy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Andy. Good. Good, good, good. She's doing great. Okay, cool. Are there any other questions or comments for the crew here?
I have something related to champs. That's a little off topic. Obviously, that's not Wisconsin related. If I can steal people's attention, it's not that big of a deal. I just realized that I have a room that I can stay with, but I booked a double room at the Hilton, and I'm hearing now that the Hilton is already booked. And obviously, I know people are booking super early, and I hear there's also some drama, maybe. I'm not 100% sure about the first block. So I got it at the first block price. I'm planning on holding my room until maybe a week or so before champs. If you guys maybe want to keep that in the back of your mind, if anyone wants to take that from me, I don't want to just give it back to them. Obviously, if somebody else could use it a little bit more. Um, so I just wanted to put that out here because I lost access to a lot of the Slacks I used to have access to. Um, so I just want to put that out there. Obviously, you guys would probably be the best place to put that information out. But it's just the one room, but it has the 2 beds. So
For sure.
that's it.
For
That's
sure.
it from me.
How would you like people to get a hold of you, Julia,
Um,
if they were interested?
yeah. My email, which is just Julia.Sadowitz, but Sadowitz is hard to spell. Uh
I wouldn't try to guess. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Um,
There's a
is
J
there
in
a
there somewhere.
yeah, there is a J in there. Um, I can write a message, and then if one of you guys could forward it for me while I try and figure out my
Sure.
Slack situations. Should I send it to you, Greg, or Renee, or
Sure.
Not me.
okay, I will text you, Greg, and I'll let you know. I'll put the price in there and I'll relay all this information again. But if anyone wants to claim it right now, so I don't have to type. All right, Greg, you're getting the message. But yeah,
Sounds
like I
good.
said, I know he's really qualified yet, but I just want to let you guys know that that is at least going to be an option. I'll keep it in my back pocket in case things get real hectic come when people start to qualify.
Awesome. Thanks, Julia. Yeah, I'll get that posted.
All right, no problem. Thanks, guys.
Cool, cool, cool. All right. Button up on 7 here. So any last comments, questions? Otherwise, all I've got is good luck to all the teams competing in Duluth next week. Can't believe competition season's already here. It probably helps that I don't compete till week 5, so it still feels like week 2 for me of the build season. But good luck to everybody competing next week. We will certainly be watching and cheering on all of our Wisconsin friends up there in the very, very cold north. Hopefully there's no snowstorm. I haven't looked at the weather and it's too far away to know yet, but safe travels especially. Cool. Renee, any last words?
If you know of any alumni or college students who are interested in learning more about event management or AV directing at FRC events, I'm currently in the process of coordinating a super fun road trip down to Mishawaka, Indiana for their week 1 event. So if you aren't going to Duluth, and you know of any contacts who might be interested, we're leaving from Milwaukee next Friday.
So reach out to Renee.
Yes, that you can reach out to me about. I'm just trying to move things off my plate. Thanks, Greg.
Yep. Awesome.
All right.
Okay. If there's no more comments, I'm gonna kill it here, and we will see you guys after many of you have competed. So good luck. We'll be rooting for you. Thanks, everyone.
Renee, can you
Thank
hold
you.
on just a second once the meeting's over?
Probably.
Did you send me a welcome letter for the Wisconsin event?